My brother thought I was his best man. I was actually his biggest mistake. My brother Tobias called me on a Tuesday afternoon asking if we could grab coffee. I said yes, mostly because I was still an idiot who loved him despite everything he'd done to me. We met at the same diner our dad used to take us to. Tobias sat down, ordered a black coffee, and dropped the bombshell. Red, I know this is weird, but you're still my brother. I want you to be my best man. I just stared at him. 18 months earlier, my fiancée Sabine had dumped me via text message 3 weeks before our wedding. She moved in with Tobias 4 days later. They claimed they were just friends the whole time we were together. Then he added the kicker. Sabine was pregnant. She specifically wanted me at the wedding. I sat in my car for an hour after that meeting. Then, I called my friend Desmond, who was supposed to be my best man before the wedding got canceled. Desmond said, "Rhett, you never saw the videos from your bachelor party, did you?" I told him I'd asked him to delete everything back then because I couldn't stand to look at it. He admitted he'd lied. He sent me a file, a 47-second clip from the hallway of the cabin we'd rented. It showed Tobias walking out of a bedroom at 2 a.m., buttoning his shirt, followed by Sabine in one of his t-shirts. They kissed before she went back inside. The date stamp was 9 months before she broke up with me. I watched it 4 times. Then I called Tobias and said, "I'm in. I'll be your best man." For the next few weeks, I played the part perfectly. I went to the dinners, I toasted them, I even hugged Sabine and told her she looked radiant. She was 7 months along by then. Casually, I planted a seed. I asked Tobias if he'd done a paternity test. He laughed it off, but I could see him starting to scratch at the idea. I also reached out to a guy named Pierce, a former coworker who was at my bachelor party. I'd noticed how attentive he was to Sabine back then. I sent Pierce a long text telling him what I knew. Pierce called me back 10 minutes later, sobbing. He admitted he'd slept with her months before Tobias ever did. He said Sabine had texted him 6 months ago, drunk, asking if he remembered that weekend in March. March was when she got pregnant. The rehearsal dinner was at a vineyard. I stood up to give the best man toast. I'd written 2 versions. I delivered the one that would end their lives. I thanked Tobias for being my brother. I thanked Sabine for finding true love. Then I said, "I have one last gift to give you, and I want everyone to witness it, because family shouldn't have secrets." I played that 47-second video on the venue's projector. The room went dead silent. Then I handed Tobias a sealed envelope from a lab. I told him it contained a hair sample from his coat, a swab from Pierce, and a sample from Sabine's last prenatal checkup. I told him I hadn't opened it, but that he should be the one to see what kind of family he had chosen. Tobias opened the envelope with shaking hands. His face went ghost white. He looked at Pierce, who had driven 6 hours just to be there. Pierce just nodded. The wedding didn't happen. Tobias moved out 3 days later. Sabine had the baby in October. It's Pierce's. He's raising the kid now. At our mother's birthday last month, Tobias cornered me in the kitchen. He asked why I did it that way, why I couldn't have just told him privately. I looked at him for a long time and finally said, "You stole my life in private, Tobias. I just thought it was only fair to return the favor in public."